Welcome into another video. This time we're going over my top 5 Dynasty wide receivers. Now coming here at number 5, we're going with AJ Brown. Now he is the oldest wide receiver here on my list at 25 years old, but the guy is absolutely phenomenal. He is the main go-to guy for Jalen Hurts on this Philadelphia Eagles team. They do have Devonta Smith on the other side, which kind of limits AJ Brown to a certain extent. I'm saying there may be 2 to 3 games throughout the season that AJ Brown really isn't going to produce very good numbers for you because it's going to be a Devonta Smith game. But for all the other games, AJ Brown is a guy that's waiting to go yard all day long. So you never know what play he may have a 40-yard touchdown reception for you. AJ Brown coming over from Tennessee. Hurts was like, yo, I want my guy that is my friend. I want to play with this guy. Ever since coming to Philadelphia Eagle, he has shown us why he is one of the premier wide receivers in this league. Now in Dynasty startup drafts, you're looking at AJ Brown going to the middle to mid to late type of first round, and he is definitely worth it. He's definitely good to be able to go out on a limb, grab your guy, and know that you have a top wide receiver 1 on your football team. Week in and week out, we have the Philadelphia Eagles in a winning situation because of not only Jalen Hurts, but AJ Brown as well. When they need a tough yards or third down and they need to go, look, we need somebody to catch the ball, he's going to be thrown to his friend AJ Brown. So if you have AJ Brown on your roster, you already know you've already got one of those wide receiver spots locked in. Now you're going to be set it and forget it type of go for your wide receiver 1 spot. The dude is absolutely phenomenal. He's got the hands, he's got the speed. He's a physical freak of nature to where he can make that separation if need be. He can make those difficult catches. I like what I see. He had a great season last season. He's going to have a great season this season coming up. The only thing that if I have to say there's a knock on AJ Brown is that Devonta Smith is on the other side, which sometimes limits his opportunities. But AJ Brown is more consistent than not when talking about fantasy football. This dude at number 5, I think, is a steal. Even at 25 years old, I had to put him in my top 5. So moving on to number 4 is the guy who was the rookie last year. We're talking about Garrett Wilson. Now he's got a huge upgrade at quarterback. What did he have last season? I mean, whether it's Joe Flacco or White or Wilson, it didn't matter. Then he still produced. Now you bring in Aaron Rodgers over here from the Packers, and it looks like it's going to be nothing but good from Rodgers. Yes, they ended up getting over Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb and all of his old friends over here, but I don't think that's going to matter. Garrett Wilson is a horse. This guy's going to be the grade A type of player that you're going to want on your fantasy football team. He's super young at 22 years old. He's actually the youngest wide receiver in my top 5 right now, and he is definitely worth it. He has hands, he's got nerves of steel. It doesn't matter what cornerbacks he goes up against. He thinks he can beat everybody in the NFL. He's great at route running. We have to remember that he was one of the more dominant players on the Ohio State Buckeyes when he played along with Chris Olave and Jackson Smith-Njigba. So Garrett Wilson is a very high draft capital, and he proved last season why he was drafted so high. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. Being only 22 years of age, Garrett Wilson has nothing but going up from here. I mean, he's somebody, if you grab him in a dynasty league, you're going to have him for years to come. And even after Aaron Rodgers ends up retiring, whether he stays 1, 2, 3 years, it doesn't matter. Garrett Wilson has already shown that he can be a productive wide receiver in this league, even without a premier quarterback. So you do have a little bit of a safety blanket there, knowing that Wilson will still be able to provide with you no matter who the quarterback is. If he's able to put up fantasy points with Joe Flacco, he could put up fantasy points with anybody. So I'm super excited to see where Wilson goes from here. You're kind of seeing Garrett Wilson go between the later round of round 1. And so you can definitely get him and grab Garrett Wilson and come back around and get another player in the early of round 2, and you're going to be set it for your dynasty leagues. But if you are in a redraft league, good luck. Or in a dynasty league that's already done the draft, good luck getting Garrett Wilson. He's pretty much untradeable, untouchable. The guy's absolutely phenomenal. If you got him on your team, don't even worry about even trying to have field offers for it. Don't entertain that stuff. Garrett Wilson is the guy to go. But if you're in a startup dynasty league, please target Garrett Wilson. If you're on the back end of the first round, you will not regret it. Let's move over to number 3 now. We're going to go over with CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb coming in at 24 years old, showed us last season he finally had his breakout season that we were all looking for. Dak Prescott was looking for him early and often, and yes, they did add Brandon Cooks to the offense, but I think that's only going to help CeeDee Lamb. I think Brandon Cooks can be that deep threat for him, even though he's a little bit up in age. He's still got the speed to get down the field. They're going to have to type of acknowledge Brandon Cooks on the field. So it's only going to leave for more opportunity for CeeDee Lamb to get open. I think CeeDee Lamb has the hands, he's got the speed, he's got the whole capabilities, and he's got an offense that's willing to throw the football. So I think that they may run a little bit more this season, but it doesn't really matter because I think the volume enough just towards CeeDee Lamb with Dak Prescott is enough to land you as a top wide receiver. We're looking at CeeDee Lamb going anywhere between the mid of the first round of a startup dynasty draft, and there may be some teams that may have CeeDee Lamb that may be a little lower on him because maybe they added Brandon Cooks. There's rumors out there that they want to run the ball more. Now is the best time to go grab CeeDee Lamb if you can go get him. I think his value is probably the lowest it's going to get, even though it shouldn't be. It should be very, very high. But I would say if you have some owners out there with CeeDee Lamb, throw some offers out there. See if you can grab CeeDee Lamb on the quote-unquote cheap, and then see if you got yourself a stud wide receiver. There might be some people out there that might be just a little hesitant on CeeDee Lamb, and if you dangle some good stuff in front of them, they may be able to pry away from CeeDee Lamb, and boom, you just got yourself a clear-cut wide receiver 1 for Dynasty football. Let's move on to number 2. Now, the number 1 and the number 2 spot can be kind of similar here, but I'm going to go ahead and put Ja'Marr Chase here at number 2. He's coming at 23 years old. Overall, I do like Justin Jefferson better than Ja'Marr Chase, but I think Jefferson's talent is just a little bit better than Ja'Marr Chase. I like the quarterback situation for Ja'Marr Chase a little bit better. He's got Joe Burrow attached to him, and Jefferson, we're going to get him here in a second. He's got Kirk Cousins, but even with Ja'Marr Chase, he is a guy that can go down the field and catch those 40-yard bombs. Yes, he does have other options on the field, which again is another reason why I probably landed him at number 2. They do have the T. Higgins and the Tyler Boyd right there with the Joe Mixon in the backfield. There's a lot of more weapons on this offense to go to, and I think that's just, at the end of the day, there may be a couple games that Ja'Marr Chase is kind of absent from your lineup, but in more cases than not, he's very consistent on what he does as far as production, and he can give you those week winning type of weeks, which, hey, I'm all for it. You know, you're going to have one of the top 3 picks in a startup dynasty draft. There's some people would take Bijan Robinson number 2. Some even take him number 1. Who knows? But you know, it normally goes Bijan, Justin Jefferson, Ja'Marr Chase for those top 3 spots. So Ja'Marr Chase, definitely a phenomenal pick if you want to go that route. I think he's definitely worth any type of dynasty pick that you give him, whether it's in the top 3 or not. If he falls out the top 3, it's a home run hit in my opinion. Now, without further ado, we all know who the number 1 spot is. We're talking about Justin Jefferson. Now, he does have Kirk Cousins at quarterback, like I had said earlier, and we don't know. This could be last season for Kirk Cousins, and we don't know what's going to be coming out of him. Will they have the rookie coming up? Will they get another veteran quarterback in there? We don't really know, but that's the kind of situation that we're going to. It's kind of like, can he produce without a good quarterback like Garrett Wilson did when he was with Joe Flacco? So I think the talent level of Justin Jefferson is extreme. I think he's amazing. I think he just needs a quarterback that's going to be able to get him the ball consistently, and I think that's what Kirk Cousins could definitely do. So in a startup draft, I still would take Justin Jefferson number 1 overall over everybody, over Bijan, over everybody. And I think that would be a very good situation. He's 24 years old, so he's still super, super young, and he's going to be able to give you plenty of production. So, you know, he's pretty much matchup proof. There's never going to be a situation where you sit any of these top 5 wide receivers, no matter what situation they're going to be in. So I think Justin Jefferson, there's not a lot really to say about the guy. He's got amazing hands. His route running is impeccable. I just love what he can produce and provide for your fantasy team. He is clearly my number 1 dynasty wide receiver. As always, thank you for watching the video as we continue to ramp up throughout this off season. That way we can get you best prepared for this upcoming fantasy season. If you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button. Really helps out the channel. That way you're always up to date with all the information that we come out here. Leave a comment down below. What did you think about the video? Do you have any thoughts? I love to go back and forth with you guys, and ultimately leave a big like on this video. It really helps out the channel. I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.